War, a tragic, destructive whirlwind that lays waste to nations and lives alike, is an unyielding storm, leaving only remnants of its wrath behind. Today we venture into one such battlefield, the enduring conflict between Palestine and Israel, a battle that has continuously altered the geopolitical contours of the Middle East. This clash, embedded in complex religious, territorial and cultural disputes, has its roots reaching back to the century. The conflict's inception is traced back to the remarkable emergence and growth of the Zionist movement. This movement, a response to widespread anti-Semitism, gave birth to the pursuit for a Jewish homeland. The Zionists, in their fervor to reclaim their perceived heritage, set their sights upon Palestine, a territory they deemed the historic homeland of the Jewish community. This decision would prove to be contentious, as Palestine was already home to a predominantly Arab society, a fact that was destined to ignite a confrontation of national aspirations. As the 20th century progressed, this struggle intensified despite numerous attempts at peace. There were variations in the intensity of the conflict, but the fundamental issues remained unresolved. The consequences were dire. The massive displacement of people, the loss of countless innocent lives, and the constant state of tension only added layers to the complexity of the conflict. It evolved into more than a territorial dispute. It became a deeply emotional battle for identity, heritage, and survival, affecting generations and leaving deep scars on the psyche of both nations. As we approach the present day, the conflict rages on with no clear resolution in sight. The struggle has become a defining feature of the Middle East's geopolitical landscape, drawing the attention of the world. The international community watches in dismay as the land of ancient civilizations continues to bleed, the casualties of war mounting with every passing day. The toll this conflict takes on the tangible and intangible heritage of both nations is incalculable. Against this backdrop, one such tempest is the long-standing conflict between Palestine and Israel, a bitter struggle that has persisted for decades, continuously reshaping the geopolitical landscape of the Middle. The creation of Israel in 1948, following the unbearable horrors of the Holocaust, undoubtedly deepened simmering tensions in the Middle East region. This pivotal moment in history, though seen as a beacon of hope and refuge for the Jewish community worldwide, also ignited a series of complex issues that continue to influence the political landscape of our world today. Israel's establishment, which was brought about by the United Nations Partition Plan, was a direct response to the inhuman atrocities committed by the Nazis against the Jews during World War II. The intention was to carve out a safe haven for Jews who had suffered unimaginable pain and loss in the Holocaust. However, this decision was not taken lightly by the Arab nations. They perceived it as an imposition on the indigenous Palestinian population, which led to a sharp escalation in regional tensions. The Jewish state's establishment triggered a series of wars, military and uprisings that would rock the region for decades. These conflicts, collectively known as Intifadas, were bloody and relentless, causing great suffering on both sides. As a result, hundreds of thousands of Palestinians were displaced from their ancestral homes, leaving them with no choice but to seek shelter in makeshift refugee camps. This mass displacement has since become one of the most contentious points in the ongoing Israel-Palestine conflict. Today, the Intifadas remain a painful reminder of the immense human cost of these conflicts. They've left an indelible imprint on the collective psyche of both the Israeli and Palestinian populations, shaping their narratives and fueling the cyclical nature of their disputes. Yet, among the most heartrending outcomes of these conflicts has been the plight of the Palestinian refugees. Many of these displaced individuals, forced to abandon their homes amid the chaos and violence, are still living in refugee camps to this day. The effects of this conflict are far-reaching and profound. The strife witnessed over the years has had palpable implications. Israel, locked in a persistent struggle for its existence, has had to transform into a formidable military power in the region. This has been a consequential development, considering the geopolitics of the region. This evolution has been marked by years of strategic planning, defense alliances, and accumulation, turning Israel into a major force to reckon with. On the flip side, the Palestinian territories, and more notably the Gaza Strip, are continuously wrestling with mounting economic duress and extensive infrastructural damage. This ongoing deterioration is a palpable outcome of the numerous instances of military confrontations, blockades, and sieges that have left these regions economically crippled and socially fragmented. The people living here, endure a life of uncertainty, their existence marred by the shadows of conflict and the scars of war. The ripple effect of this conflict has not been confined within the geographical boundaries of the Middle East. It has influenced international relations, creating visible rifts between nations on who they choose to support, Israel or Palestine. This recurring pattern of division has contributed to shaping global politics and diplomacy. Furthermore, the conflict has stirred the rise of extremist ideologies, provoking an increase in terrorism and hate crimes globally. This has been a disturbing byproduct, threatening social harmony and peace, and contributing significantly to the ongoing global crisis. Importantly, the conflict has dictated the ebb and flow of peace in the Middle East, a region already fraught with instability. The peace process and the prospect for stability have been held hostage to this conflict, making it central to any discussion on pacifying this volatile region. Now, take a moment to reflect on this scenario. Picture a vast land drenched in the torrents of spilled blood of countless innocent souls. Can you hear that? Those are the haunting echoes of the cries of innocent children, young souls who have known nothing but the brutal face of war. They are the innocent victims of circumstances beyond their control, born into a world where peace is but a distant dream. Ponder, if you will, upon the lives that have been forever scarred by the relentless sting of loss and the heart-wrenching reality of forced displacement. Think about the mothers and fathers who have to watch their homes crumble, their grow amidst the wreckage of their once tranquil homeland. Picture the destruction that surrounds them, the broken buildings that stand tall as a grim reminder of their lost past, the charred remnants of what was once their reality. These are the generations raised amidst the rubble of their shattered dreams and the despair of a future uncertain. It is crucial, in our understanding and analysis of conflict, to consider the human cost that is overlooked. Behind the sensational headlines that scream out the rising death tolls, the political rhetoric that paints a convenient picture of the enemy, and the strategic maneuvers that toy with human lives in the name progress, there exist people. People who are not just numbers or statistics in a report, but human beings, with dreams, aspirations, and love in their hearts. People who dream of a dawn where peace is not just an elusive concept, but a reality. People who yearn for a homeland they can call their own, free from the looming shadows of war and violence. People who imagine a future where fear is replaced with hope, where children can play freely without the dread of the unknown. It is these people we must remember when we talk about war and conflict. People who dream of peace, of a homeland, of a future without fear. This is not a call to choose sides, but rather an invitation to extend the boundaries of your perspective, to step into the shoes of another and experience their world. We are not advocating for polarity. Instead, we are promoting empathy. We are encouraging you to peer beyond the surface, to delve into the intricate web of human emotions, and to comprehend the intricate dynamics that are often concealed beneath the veneer of conflict. And as we thrust this invitation towards your hands, we implore you to recognize the profound complexity that is inherent in every situation. It is often too easy to fall into the trap of reducing intricate problems into simplistic binaries, of seeing the world in black and white, but we must resist this temptation. We must appreciate the multitudes of hues that color our world, the subtle nuances that add depth to our understanding, and the intricate interplay of factors construct our reality. And as we navigate the labyrinth of these complexities, let us not forget the ultimate goal: harmony. This is not a mere dream of a world devoid of wars and conflicts. It's a reminder that peace, the kind of peace that is profound and enduring, is far more than just the absence of war. It demands justice, the kind that is not selective, but universal. It calls for understanding, the kind that shatters stereotypes and fosters unity. And above all, it requires compassion, a profound empathy that transcends boundaries, kindness so deep that it has the potential to heal the deepest of wounds and bridge the widest of chasms. With this, we reiterate our plea. This is not a plea for you to choose sides. It's a plea for empathy, understanding, and acknowledgement of the complexities that are often overlooked. It's a reminder that peace, true lasting peace, requires justice, understanding, and above all, compassion. In the narrative of Palestine and Israel, there are no winners, only survivors. And as the chapters of this tragic tale continue to unfold, one can only hope that a resolution, one that ensures dignity and justice for all, is on the horizon. For in the end, it is not the might of armies or the cunning of politicians that will determine the course of history, but the resilience of the human spirit and its unyielding pursuit of peace.